Knicks Nation, today is Wednesday, the 24th day of April 2024. 4/24/24. I hope you're safe and healthy on this Wednesday, and that the family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who, along with the first responders, are out here every day risking their lives to save lives. Blessings upon those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings to the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create these industries by making the demand. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. All right, New York Knicks playoffs. Brethren, the home team in the first two games of the playoffs has, as we know, the home court advantage. Whenever the home team loses one of those first two games, they lose the home court advantage. For example, the Knicks now are 2-0 on the Philadelphia 76ers in a 7-game series. So there's 5 more games left. 3 of those 5 will be in Philly, but the Knicks only need to win 2 out of the 5 to win the series. So the odds are in the Knicks' favor. The Pacers against the Bucks, who are in the Knicks bracket, it's 1-1. The Bucks have lost the advantage, the home court advantage. Why? Because they won 1 and lost 1 at home, so now the series is even. In the next 5 games, 3 of the next 5 are in Indianapolis. So now the Pacers have the home court advantage. By getting a split in the first 2 games, they have now shifted the home court advantage to themselves. Okay? Without Giannis playing in this series, the Pacers are going to win this series. Without Giannis, there is no way the Bucks can win this series. Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks are a 500 team at best. And that's no slight on the Bucks. That's the way a star-driven team is built. All star-driven teams are built upon stars. Giannis is a top 5 player in the world. So you get him and you build around him. But without him, you don't have anything. Because everybody else is built to play with the superstar. Okay? The Knicks, on the other hand, are built with several pieces. We had Drew, we had Brunson, we have OG. We have different pieces that could come through for the Knicks, as we have seen. We lost Drew, we lost Mitchell Robinson at various times in the season. We were out without Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks still found a way to win without OG and Anunoby. Because it's better to, when you build the right way for long-term sustainable winning, you're not always dependent on one guy. Now, the Knicks would have a tough time without Jalen Brunson, but they would still be in it. They would not be out of it completely without Jalen. It'll be harder, but they'd be out of it. The Bucks are out of it, completely out of it without Giannis. Okay? So now the Pacers got a split in Milwaukee. So the odds are for the Pacers, just by the sheer numbers. The odds are in the Pacers' favor. No Giannis, and you got 3 of the next 5 games at home. So the odds are in the Pacers' favor. So now it's looking like, if it, this is the league, so you got to play the games. But it's looking like it would be Knicks-Pacers in the second round. Okay? With the Knicks having the home court advantage. By the way, I watched some of the Pacer game last night. Obi Toppin looked really good. He didn't shoot the ball well, but if y'all recall the energy he would bring to the Knicks off the bench, he brought that energy off of the Pacers bench last night, except he brought it on a playoff intensity level. Okay, and his shot is not going to remain off. Obi could shoot the ball, so it was really a key. The energy he brought, even though you may not see it on a stat sheet, if you watch the game, it was key to fueling their win. Now, with the Cavaliers and the Magic are a really good team. Paolo Banchero is that dude, but they're down 2-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers because, again, when you're building a team the right way, you got to go through the steps. You cannot skip a step. Paolo Banchero is that guy. He's a superstar in the making. And they have a really nice, very good contingent led by Franz Wagner behind him. But they need that playoff experience, okay? The Knicks have already been through that. In the Knicks' first year under Tom Thibodeau, they went to the playoffs, lost in the first round. You had RJ as very young player. You had Quick as a very young player. Julius had never won on this level as a player. So it was a young team coming. Then the next year, they took a step backward because they tried to shortcut and get Fournier and Kemba to hopefully bring them forward quicker. You can't take shortcuts. Okay, they already had what they needed, but they went and then they went back to 37 wins. Then last year, they went back up and won 40-something games because they now are continuing the long-term sustainable winning. And then they lost in the second round last year because Drew got hurt. Okay, but Mitch Robb was a monster against Cleveland. Development. Now, you already have Jalen Brunson, and now you skipped the rest of your rebuild and you moved RJ and IQ in favor of OG, and now you're winning now. Okay, so the Knicks are seasoned, tough, and together. Okay, they're ready to move forward, as we all can see. And they're prepared for long-term sustainable winning. All their key players are in their 20s on more than reasonable contracts. Okay, and so you can move forward for the next 3 years, and you could be a perennial contender for the East. That's what the Knicks are right now. That's called long-term sustainable winning. Okay, so all you people calling for trading Julius or trading Mitchell Robinson, which I've heard some fools bring into my channel stupidly. No, you don't do that. You got the squad that can continue to compete for the next 3 years. See, long-term in the league is like 5 years. And then you're trying to rebuild again. Every team goes through it. And Oklahoma City, I mentioned as an example of a team that could rebuild and come back after developing and drafting 3 league MVPs. Here they are again, doing it again, see, with draft picks, young players, and development. The Knicks have in the management system, in the coaching system, draft picks, and development. So we're prepared to move forward even past the prime of the guys we have now. That's long-term sustainable winning. Now, with the Magic, because they're a young team, it's their first foray into the playoffs like this, they're going to lose to Cleveland. Okay, it's going to be tough, but they're going to lose to Cleveland. Because Cleveland has been there. Donovan Mitchell's been there many times, and he's hungry. Okay, along with the other crew, but led by Donovan Mitchell. So Cleveland will probably move on into the next round, the second round. The Celtics are going to beat the Heat. The Celtics are going to go, I think they play tonight. They're going to go up 2-0 because there's no Jimmy Butler. Okay, the Heat, again, tough team. Bam Adebayo been there before. Tyler Hero's been there before. Tough coach. But really, the Celtics, 64 wins, something like that. They're the top of the East. And without Jimmy Butler, they're not going to get that. This is not going to happen. There's going to be no repeat of the Cinderella run they had last year. It's not going to happen. So you're going to see Celtics, Cleveland in the second round. Knicks, Pacers in the second round. Now, a lot of people breathing easy because they're easy going to be. There's nothing easy in the NBA playoffs. Nothing. Okay? It's tough. Now, the Knicks would be favored, at least by us that know the Knicks, over Pacers. Okay? So it would end up it looking like a Celtics-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. But we got to now take one step at a time. So right now, we got to handle business against Philly. The Knicks have a 2-0 lead with 5 games to play. They just have to win 2 of the next 5. Now, people have come back from that, in the league. But this team that Tom Thibodeau has put together is not the type of team to fold. This ain't Knicks teams of the past that would fold at crunch time. As we saw from the last game, this team is a group of tough winners led by a tough winner in Jalen Brunson. Okay, and they got tough ruffians behind them, and Deuce McBride, and Precious Achua, and Bodega 44, who is slow as molasses, can shoot the lights up. But I told y'all, Eastern Bloc tough. Okay, so we ready for Freddie, and I'm thinking, we should be able to. I don't want to say call it a sweep, because I don't want to jinx that. but I think they can win this series in 5 games. This next game, we'll talk more about it tomorrow, but this next game is going to be the dogfight of all dogfights because you got a really talented Philadelphia team. And this is the thing that killed me. I still hear some knuckheads saying that Philly's the more talented team. No, they're not. If they were, they wouldn't be down 2-0. They down 2-0 because they're not more talented than the Knicks. Okay? They're just not. 7-game series reveals who the best team is. That's what, see, and when you playing during the season, as I said, on any given night, any team could be any team. Detroit, worst team in the league by record, but on any given night, Detroit could beat you. Okay, the Knicks had a tough game against Detroit. But when you're playing a 7-game series, the purpose of it is that the best team wins. And a lot of function of the best team is not just the talent level, it's when you're playing your best basketball. And I want some of y'all in Knicks Nation to remember this, although I know some of y'all are too emotional to remember this. Tom Thibodeau's teams always start slow and they finish strong. Here we are again in April, and guess what? The Knicks started slow and they're playing their best basketball in April. And this, again, is without Julius Randle. When we get Juju back, it's going to be on. There's no doubt. It's going to be on next year. But here we are this year, still pushing for the ECF. Okay? So they're playing their best basketball. Here it is, April 24th, and the Knicks are playing their best ball, and they still have more upside to go because Mitchell Robinson is not completely himself yet. He's still getting his timing. He's still getting his stamina. But every game, he looks a little better. And now, this time now, you got 2 days off between games. Yeah, we're going to be all right. Okay, we're going to be all right. Mitch Rob, Deuce, coming off the bench together. We talked about this before it happened. Mitch Rob, Deuce coming off the bench together. Now, I thought Hart would be joining them because we expected Juju back. Okay, but no Juju, no problem. Hart is there, and now we got Bodega 44, who can adequately fill in when he's surrounded by defensive players, which Thibs has been doing. He puts Bodega in there with Mitch Rob, Deuce. Usually he'll have an OG with them, right? Or Devo or Hart and OG. That's a devastating bench. That's a devastating bench right there. Okay? And if Juju was here, you put Hart, Mitch Rob, and Deuce. It's on. Okay? So rear now, the Knicks, thank you, Leon the Don. Thank you, Thibodeau. The Knicks are in the position to get into the ECF this year. And the bracketing helped them because they're on one side, Celtics on the other. So, okay? So, we got to take care of business in Philly, though. This ain't no giving. It's going to be a dogfight. They're a wounded team, very talented team, like a wounded bear, okay? They're more dangerous when they're wounded, right? It's going to be an all-out scraping dogfight. Philly is going to be going nuts. The city's going to be going nuts. The crowd's going to be crazy. But the Knicks are tough. And we'll be ready. Y'all enjoy your Wednesday. Shalom.